probably recognize the man sitting next to me here. He's one of the most famous faces ever to come out of Toledo, Ohio, Mr. Jamie Farr.
Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to come back to Toledo and to be in your company.
Well, thank you so much. Now, I was looking on the internet this morning at your resume, which goes well beyond MASH. Most of us remember you cross-dressing as Corporal Klinger.
Right.
But
that's what made you famous, so you're stuck with it.
Yes, absolutely. But your movie credits include Blackboard Jungle, No Time for Sergeants, The Greatest Story Ever Told. You were a regular judge on The Gong Show, which I remember watching. I don't think
people remember The Gong Show, but it's just, American Idol is just a variation of The Gong Show.
It really is, yeah, absolutely.
It's an actual steal from The Gong Show, really.
And guest appearances on some TV shows that you might be familiar with, including I Dream of Jeannie, The Dick Van Dyke Show, That 70s Show, and Fox's Family Guy.
Family Guy. I remember when they called me, and I couldn't believe that they wanted me on the show. And usually you play yourself on the program. And
kind of like The Simpsons. They had a lot of guest spots.
Right, yeah. And I was curious as to what they were going to do with my profile, you know, in animation. I've never seen the show that I did.
Oh, really?
People tell me about it because I do them, you know, and I'm not sure when they air the programs, but it was really funny. And I did another one of their shows. I'm trying to remember what it was. The writers and producers were big fans of MASH. And of course, MASH was produced by 20th Century Fox. So that's the connection there. The other shows that you mentioned, I go so far back. I actually did, this is my 57th year in show business, I actually did a show which was originally a radio program called You Are There. It was on CBS, and Walter Cronkite was the host of the show. And what they did is they would take historical moments and pretend that at that time there were newscasters there. And they would broadcast what was going on. Julius Caesar's standing over there, and Mark Antony is, we're going to go over and interview Mark Antony right now. And it was a great show. It was also a TV show. And I did one of the early ones. I played the first, one of the first World War I Congressional Medal of Honor recipients. And I ran into Walter Cronkite's daughter at some event or something. She says, "You worked with my dad." I'm trying to remember. Oh, I said, "Oh my goodness, you're absolutely right." I must have been all of 20 years old or 21 at the time that I did that show. I did live television, you know, and when they had long before tape, the Red Skelton Show, Playhouse 90, Climax, Shower of Stars at CBS. A lot of very funny stories that go with the live TV. You know, when the corpse is supposed to be dead, and the guy doesn't realize he's still on camera, and he gets up and walks away. The man just shot him. He's, oh my goodness, he's dead. Well, we've got to find out who did it. And the guy gets up and walks on camera. You know.
A little unintentional comedy there. Well, let's move on to golf. You have for years been the man behind the Jamie Farr Classic, the LPGA tournament.
I'm the flag that everybody rallies around. There's a lot of other people that make the tournament work, but
well,
yeah,
it's taken a year off, and right now the U.S. Senior Open is on, and I assume that's why you're here.
They invited me. They said, Jamie, to keep the lineage, will you come in and be part of the tournament? And I said, of course I would. So that's the reason I'm here. Most of the people that are sponsoring the Seniors Open sponsor the Jamie Farr tournament. So that's why I'm here, and I'm having a great time with all of the sponsors. Even though it's not my tournament, they still keep me working. So nice. We're all over the place. And it's the same people, you know. I mean, obviously the golfers are not the same, but it's the same group behind the scenes that are putting on the tournament. And it's a lot of fun, and I love Inverness. I have my Inverness shirt on. Isn't that a great course? The history behind that course. If I may share a story with you, I didn't realize, when I was growing up, I didn't play golf, didn't know anything about golf. We were all too poor. But I used to read about it in the Blade, and I didn't realize that for years, Byron Nelson was the resident pro at Inverness. And I got all excited about it, and I went to the Masters one year, Judd Silverman and I, when Ty Votaw was the commissioner of the LPGA. And I'm standing on the 10th tee, and Byron Nelson is on his stool with his wife Peggy, who's from Toledo Central Catholic High School. And I'm standing behind the ropes watching all the golfers come in, and they go over and congratulate and say hello to Mr. Nelson, Tom Watson, Tiger Woods, I mean, all the big names. And Mr. Nelson sees me, and he has a cane. He gets up with Peggy, and they walk across the tee box to say hello to me and to thank me for what I do for Toledo. And I tell you, that really touched me. This great man, Lord Byron, you know, coming over to thank this kid from Toledo, Ohio, north end of Toledo, for what I do for the city, and Peggy also did that as well. And of course, everybody's looking around. Who is this guy? Lord Nelson gets up and talks to him.
Well, we are honored to have
Well,
you
thank
here.
you.
Thank you so much
Yeah.
for spending some time with us. It's always so much
Great.
fun.
This is it?
This is it.
My goodness, I had so much more to say.
Well, we would love to have you here all night. That would
Well,
be
thank you.
wonderful. Thank you so much, Jamie Farr, and that is tonight's Talkback.